Okay, so to set up a virtual machine on Amazon's EC2 data center, it's very simple. We'll just search Amazon EC2, Electric Cloud Computing, Elastic Cloud Computing, and click. And we'll sign in. And this, if you have an existing Amazon account, you just use that email. And we'll log in and we'll go to the Amazon Web Services console and click on EC2, Virtual Servers in the Cloud. It shows you here the home page. Here's how many instances or virtual computers you have running. And we'll click on these instances to view. Now it shows you here I have 3 instances already set up. One is running, as you can see right here. The other 2 are stopped. And we can launch a brand new instance. So we'll launch an instance. The classic setup wizard is fine. It'll take us through choices, Linux, Red Hat, Ubuntu, Microsoft Windows Server, and we'll choose a Windows Server 2012, 64-bit. And right here we can choose 1 instance or 8 instances if we wanted to network all of these instances together, make a cluster. For the demo we'll just choose 1, and we'll choose the type. So it shows you how many CPU cores and how much memory each of these instances is dedicated to. And down here, here's a CC2 cluster compute. 16 cores, 60 gigs of memory. I'll choose that one. And we'll continue. The default preferences are fine for now. We can change any of this later. This information will be available to us later. Continue, continue. The key pair is something you enter, just anything, and this will give you a file on your computer that you can use to decrypt the password for your remote server. I already have one on my computer that I created earlier, so we'll just use the same one. And the quick start security group is fine. Here's a review, and then we can launch this. And it says our instance is now launching. So we close this, and now we see here there's a new instance. You can see it's processing, the state is pending, it's initializing. Basically our instance is on a rack in Virginia somewhere. That's where the data center is. And basically it's booting up. So we could wait for this, and then we could decrypt our password after about 15 minutes, and we could log into this. What I'm going to do is start one that is stopped, that's already ready to go and I've already been working on. So we'll just select that instance, click on start. Okay, so now this computer is booting up, and this takes a few minutes, so I'll pause the recording and we'll come back to this. Okay, so our instance has booted up, and we'll just click on this to get the domain name service address. And with this address, we'll just copy that and then run remote desktop connection through Windows. Just paste the address in, and also on the local resources we want to make sure that the C drive on my computer is connected so that I can upload documents directly to the instance. And we'll hit connect. Connect. The default username is administrator. And then the password that I retrieved earlier, I'll type in. The remote computer cannot be verified. Do you want to? Yes, I want to continue. And here we go. Here's our remote computer. And you can see I've already been working on this desktop. These files here I just dragged from my C drive. It's very easy. I'll show you through the access my computer. I have the local disk here, which is actually on the remote computer. And then my C drive here in Fort Wayne. I can, let's find a file to drag and drop. So I'll just copy this, right click on the desktop of my virtual computer, paste it, and it's right there to work with. So this looks like a Windows 8 interface. So on my virtual computer I can access, here's Internet Explorer, I can download any programs or files or anything I need to. Here's Google. So what I've been doing on this is running a program called MeshLab to process point clouds, and I believe, hopefully it's still recording everything you're seeing. We'll find out soon enough. So for example, I could, and this process that it's going through is very RAM intensive. However, the program MeshLab does not support multi-threading, but it'll still work fine because there's 68 different laser scans that I need to compile, and so with this high performance machine I can actually compile 60 of these at the same time. So the process I was going through here was remeshing, and I'll just run one of those quickly. And the process is now running on MeshLab. And we can view our control panel. Let's do that. Start Task Manager. And here's the Task Manager, the Windows 8 style Task Manager. And you can see here on the memory here I have 57.1 gigabytes of RAM available, which is very nice. And the processor itself, this is an Intel Xeon 2.6 gigahertz processor. This is a $1,500 processor, and you can imagine 60 gigabytes of RAM. I'm probably working on a $7,000 or $8,000 machine right here. And the rate to use this machine is just over $1 an hour. So I can log on for $8, or for 8 hours I'll spend $8, and this will cut my processing time down from about 180 hours down to about 22 hours, and I didn't have to go out and buy a $7,000 machine. So while this is running, here's how you just minimize. So right there I just minimized the virtual computer, and now here I am back on my home desktop. And I could bring it back just as easy as that and close it. Now as long as your instance is running, you're being charged for it. So if you want to stop the instance, you just go to Actions, Stop. and the time and the amount I'm being charged is also stopped. If you want to try this on your own, the T1 Micro running Windows 2012 server is a free instance. So you can go through all this without putting any money into it at all. It just runs on a simple x86 server with 2 gigabytes of RAM, and you can cluster those together. Oh, one more thing, if we wanted to, oh yeah, I ended the remote. If we wanted to cluster 8 instances together, and we could make the 1 instance a head and the 7 others nodes, we could easily do that, and you could have your own computing cluster for $1 times $8 an hour. You could have a high performance computing cluster. That's all I have.